Hi everyone, Sarah Harris here. Today I wanted to talk about sleep and how you can get a better night's sleep in 4 easy steps. So more and more research is suggesting that sleep's imperative to not only our health and well-being, but also right now, especially our immune system. So in my 30s, I really struggled with sleep, and that had a negative effect on my workouts. I had an increase in injuries, I had digestive issues, and it also affected my mood. So when I started thinking about this vlog, I started to think of 2 men in my life that had some very wise words. One was my father, and he used to talk about when he would get stressed out, he used to talk about how he would use mental yoga. So he would be on a flight coming home after a very stressful trip somewhere, and he would just sit in his seat and just focus on his breathing and try and come into the present moment. And I think that's probably why I've chosen meditation as a technique to deal with my stress. Then my stepfather, when I would ask him in my 30s when I struggled, and I'd ask him about how he slept so well, he slept like a log and went out like a light, he said that he just goes to bed thinking pleasant thoughts. So in my 4 steps, these are the things that I wanted to focus on because I think they are true and very valuable. Before I get into that though, I wanted to talk about the hormone cortisol. This is important because when this hormone runs amok, it can prevent our sleep hormones from kicking into play. So just like the sun, cortisol kind of rises in the morning and then it sets in the afternoon. But if we have a stressful day from morning till 9 o'clock at night, we have cortisol running all that time, and it inhibits our melatonin and other growth factors at night to come in and repair our body and help us sleep. So that's why today I wanted you to start thinking about your day and how much cortisol are you eliciting throughout that day. And when we think of cortisol, I want you to think not only mental, emotional stress, I want you to think about the sleep from the night before. Did you work out too much or too little? How was your nutrition today? Hydration? How are your relationships? All this has an effect on those cortisol levels. So here's my 4-step plan that you can put into action today. And what I would suggest is that you repeat this over and over and make it a practice, a daily practice. The more we do it, the better we get at these things and the more we're going to sleep. So step 1 is to start to lower your cortisol. So at around 6 o'clock at night, you want to start to think of lowering the lights, having less screen time, and if you are on your computer, you can just put a blue blocker on there. Also, one thing I noticed that really helped me was I stopped watching exciting TV shows or the news at least or up until about 8 o'clock. After 8 o'clock, I would switch to something else, something calmer like meditation, journaling, listening to music, or even TV shows that were more light in nature. So these are all things that you can do to just start to bring down the system, start to slow down. Number 2, when you go to bed, try and go when you're tired, and then when you're lying there, start to focus on your breathing. So I talk a lot about breathing because it's key to our nervous system. If we are fast breathers, we're going to jack up that cortisol. If we start to slow down the breath, we start to go into those growth hormones, that melatonin. And what I also suggest is to supercharge that. You can actually start to take longer exhales as you breathe. So the longer exhales will bring your system down, longer inhales bring it up. So just to remember that. Number 3, maybe go back and review your day of all the positive points of your day. So sometimes we go to sleep and we're worried about tomorrow or what's going to happen or what happened earlier today. We can train our brain to cultivate the positive, which will have a great effect on lowering cortisol. So when you think about your day, it doesn't have to be exciting thoughts, even if they are good. Exciting is what we want to stay away from. You want to think of sort of pleasant and joyful thoughts. So right now is peony season. So last night when I was going to bed, one of the things I was thinking about was how beautiful the peonies are right now in my home and in people's gardens. Number 4 is to start to think about your next day and how you want it to be, how you want to be in your next day, and how these little moments of peace and joy can kind of seep into your day. Now, it is a chaotic time and we do have lots to worry about, I get that. However, the more we start to cultivate that sense of positive thoughts in our head, the more we lower that cortisol. So it's not to say that the stress isn't there, but we want to kind of train the brain at night to shift down into a positive state. And in summary, we want to rise with the sun and set with the sun. 4 things you can do. Number 1, start to lower cortisol by some of the techniques I mentioned: meditation, journaling, listening to music, slowing down and getting dark in the house, and having a blue blocker on your screens. Number 2, when you do go to bed and you're tired, start to focus on your breathing and again, lengthen those exhales. Number 3, we want to start to think about the positive things that happen in our day, not exciting, just positive. And number 4, think about the day that you'd like to have tomorrow. I hope you find this helpful, and if you do, please forward it on to those that you love and care about, because I think it's great information and hopefully they will too. Have a great day.